Hi, my name is Brika Shikin, and today we're going to be finding and evaluating an article for my research question. So my research question was, how has the introduction of online learning impacted academic performance in college students? I did go ahead and already edit my original research question, which was basically the same thing, but I had it based in the last few years because of COVID-19. While going through and trying to find articles, I found it difficult to find a lot of variety and just a bunch of articles on such a current topic. So I did go ahead and taper my question just to make it how has online learning impacted performance in college students just in general. So the first thing we're going to do is we're starting on the library homepage, and then we're going to go up to databases, which is this blue button here. I'm going to start with Academic Search Ultimate, and then we're going to go Advanced Search here, and then we're going to go ahead and choose our databases. So the databases I decided to go with were ERIC, Education Full Text, and then psychology and behavioral sciences, because my question is an education-based question, technology and education. And then also that motivational patterns do seem to have an impact on academic performance, so I thought that the psychology would be a nice extra factor to have in there. Then we're going to go ahead and click advanced search. And we're going to just start by typing in our keywords and synonyms to pull up some options. As you can see, there's a lot of synonyms for online learning. I did not realize that at first. Perfect, and after we have all of our things typed in, we're going to hit search right here. And then next we're going to just do some filters. So here I'm doing scholarly peer-reviewed journals. Let that update real quick. And that leaves us with 1,062 results still. And then I'm also going to do academic journals. And then I am going to filter it by publication date because I do want an article that is just more current, so you can have something relevant, because this topic has changed a lot over the last few years. So after that, we see that we narrow our search down to about 390 results right here. So I'm just going to scroll through and look at some options. So let's see, student experiences with open distance learning. While that is relevant, I want more of academic performance rather than just student experiences. Quality of learning as perceived by students. That is also important, but not exactly what we're looking for. Students self-report and observe learning. How does that relate to academic performance? Not necessarily relevant. Let's see. Yeah, I did think the first one here stood out a little bit. The relationship between self-directed learning and academic achievement of university students, a case of online distance learning in traditional universities. I think I'm going to go with this one because it seems the most relevant and is closely word to word for my topic. So we're going to go ahead and just click on that right there. And the first thing right away, we do see that this was a study about academic achievement and the comparison of self-directed learning via online and conventional university learning. There was a survey used to collect data for online distance and conventional learners and to see how self-directed learning related to online learning and academic performance. The next thing we want to look at is author affiliations. So we do see that each of these authors has a degree in a related field. All of them have some sort of background or degree in education and research. So they seem to be valid authorities on this topic. Next thing I'm going to do is just hit PDF full text. And we can just see how the full text pops up for us, which is really nice. Next thing we're going to look at is references. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom because that is typically where they are listed in articles. And as we can see, the references start here. And I did go ahead and already look through a lot of these. And I noticed that they had a good variety of dates. There are some older dates that aren't as current, but they did have a lot from 2011 to 2015 and higher up than that. In addition, going throughout the article when I was reading, I noticed that the authors referenced a lot of other studies that were also mentioned down in these references. They reference a lot of similarities and findings that were alike to other studies, as well as differences, and just used it to reiterate different points that were relevant in their own personal study. So I thought that was awesome that they were listed throughout the article and that their importance was indicated all the way throughout and relatable to the current study that they did. Another reason I found that they were relevant and important to the topic. As we know, I already did look up articles that were within a specific date range, so it would be current. But here we see the date was May 1st, 2020, which is really relevant. That was within the last year. And that is important because, like I said, COVID-19 did happen in the last few years, obviously, and online learning has become a topic that has been more discussed and talked about because it's increased drastically in the last few years. And it's become the main source of education for college students, and it has been a transition, and it has been something that has changed the way we look at getting our college education. And this article does a great job about discussing how self-directed and online learning has impacted academic performance in students during that time period. Overall, though, to summarize, the study of this article did aim to highlight the relationship between self-directed learning and academic performance in online courses in comparison to self-directed learning in traditional courses. The findings were that self-directed learning with online courses had a positive relationship, which was higher than traditional courses. And that is because self-directed learning also was used as a tool to help students self-regulate and self-teach and discover their learning process. In addition, there were several strategies that were discussed to help enhance self-directed learning in online courses, such as interactive activities, collaboration with peers and other students, and a lot of self-reflection. And this also was a factor of increasing intrinsic motivation in students, which was another contributing factor to success in online courses. In addition, it talked about the importance of the teacher-student relationship in online courses and how students and teachers do have to have open discussions with learning, and as well teachers do need to play a direct role in enforcing self-directed learning, being there to help students, but also, kind of letting them off the leash a little bit and helping them learn on their own. But overall, there was a positive correlation between self-directed learning and online learning with academic achievement. And it was higher in compared to conventional university student teaching. But overall, I found this article to be helpful and relevant to my research topic. And as I said before, I did already taper my research question based on my trouble with just finding sources earlier. So I do think I'm going to leave it as more of a general question rather than specific to the COVID-19 pandemic. Yeah, and this is an article I will most likely use in my research paper, and I think it was a great source. It seemed relevant. It was objective because it just presented the findings of the research study that suggested self-directed learning had a positive impact on students and academic performance and online learning. And it does provide some recommendations, but it was a neutral tone, and information was based on evidence from the study. There was no biased language involved in the article. Thank you.